All right, welcome back, guys and gals, to the Phantom Cast. I'm your host, Hayden Wright, and today we're going to be going over what I take on a backpack trip. This has evolved over the years. I'll kind of go through it or kind of how I moved forward and what I've kind of graduated from and what works for me in this video and where I'm at now. Things obviously change and evolve all the time, and this is just what works for me. So, okay. Before we dive on into this, like all videos, going to be completely transparent with you guys. There's some well-known brands here. I am not paid, not sponsored. This is my personal opinion using these items and what I like to use and what I found works for me. Okay, cool. Let's dive on into this guy. So mostly everybody, I want to say a ton of people, especially in the hunting realm, are pretty dang familiar with Peak Refuel. Initially, when I started getting into backpack hunting, I was kind of a health nut. I've always kind of been a health nut. I try to eat clean, even outside of this stuff. I'm not perfect by any means, but I was eating Heather's Choice. Heather's Choice, great product. Love it. It's just not enough. I'm a bigger dude. I need a little bit more, especially at the end of the night. So, Peak Refuel, that's what I have for my dinners. This is going to be an 8-day backpacking trip. Well, actually 7, sorry. A 7-day backpacking trip that I'm going to for high country mule deer. So, what I've chosen for the Peak Refuel is I try to stay right around the 1,000 calorie mark, and that's why I like these dinners. For some people, it's a little bit too much. For me, it's perfect. After a super long day on the mountain, I like having a bigger meal at the end of the day with a higher protein content. I just feel like that really satisfies me and makes me feel refreshed the following morning when I'm getting up. So that's why I like to run Peak Refuel. So the lowest, I've got a calorie count here that I'm going to be kind of going over as we dive on into this. So the highest caloric dinner here is going to be the biscuits and gravy. The biscuits and gravy has right around 1,100 calories. Actually, well, the bag says 1,100 calories. The lowest one that I have here is the Homestyle chicken and rice. And that's resting at 740 calories. So you got about 400 calories worth of difference there. Not too crazy of a difference, but that's on the lower end. Mostly everything else here has anywhere from 9 to 1,100, right around that 1,000 mark. So I'm going to leave those there from the side. So next, I've really grown to like these. These are pretty much or not necessarily dehydrated, but they're baked sweet potato sticks. You can buy them at Costco. I like them a ton. So I'll open these up. So they come in these individual bags. Each one of these containers has 6. That's why you see 2 of them here. And I'm going to take 2 per day. So in each one of these bags, there's 240 calories in each one of these. It's a higher carb intake. You're looking at 57 grams of carbs with right around 19 grams of sugar. So there's your good boost of energy throughout the day. If you need that good glycogen, good sugar storage to kind of get going, keep the energy up during the day, this is a good thing to have. And they're good. Clean, healthy, good protein. It's not like a Pop-Tart or anything like that. So those 2 are going to go in there. Yeah, so 240 calories per bag. So that gives you a total of 480 calories for the 2 of them. So that's sitting pretty good. So next, trail mix. Everybody likes trail mix. This is just a giant box that I got from Costco. Everybody likes trail mix. Like the M&Ms. It's got some good protein, good nuts in there too. 160 calories per bag here. I grabbed 2. So there's an additional 320 calories. As you can see, between just this right here, we're looking at right around 800-ish calories already. Just in that. Which is pretty dang good, if you ask me. All right, next. So Mountain Ops. If you don't know who Mountain Ops is, it's crazy, it's wild. Most people know who Mountain Ops is. I love their protein bars. I haven't tried the Venture bars yet, so this will be a first for me. Like anything else I've had from Mountain Ops, it's been great. So I've got a Venture bar. They have, it's 270 calories. 270 calories here with decent amount of fat. I got 14 grams of fat, 4 grams of saturated fat. And then you got 29 grams of carbs, so there's another good boost for you. The glycogen up, and then 10 grams of protein to kind of carry. So the fats and the proteins will kind of carry you on. So there's 270 calories. So we're already sitting at 1,000 calories, right about that, right? So the next bar is, again, the Mountain Ops protein bars. Love these. The Venture bar, I've got oatmeal chocolate chip. I love oatmeal raisin cookies, so oatmeal chocolate chip should be pretty dang good. So I got the Peanut Butter Bliss Mountain Ops Performance Bars, 20 grams of protein, 270 calories as well. Love peanut butter, so that's going to be good. That's going to go in there. So the next bar that I have here, I just saw what the flavors were. Didn't even really know that they were true bars. It's a plant-based protein. I'm not weird like that. And I apologize if you're into that and you like to go plant-based, cool. I'm not too terribly picky. So I just grabbed these because they look good. They got sweet cookies and cream and cocoa and coconuts. Not a huge coconut fan, but it's good. Good sugars, natural. So each one of these bars is 190 calories. And I'm grabbing 2 of them. So there's an additional 380 calories right there. Throwing those bad boys in there. Okay, so right now our bag's sitting probably right around, I'd say 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds, roughly. Okay, cheese. I love cheese. Cheese on the mountain is really good. Good fats. It actually helps keep the stomach kind of settled, at least for me, especially eating bars and all that stuff. Something that's a little bit easier on the tummy. Because eating bars like that and you're kind of on the dehydrated end, I have learned can give me heartburn and can give me, I guess, indigestion, make me feel bloated, make me feel kind of gross. Cheese helps with that quite a bit for me personally. So I usually like to have a mix of like sharp cheddar and Colby Jack, but I was at Costco and this is what they have. So, okay, so I'm going to take 3 of these. These are 90 calories each. So very calorie dense for the size that they are. So the 3 of them there is going to be 240 calories. And adding that to the pile. All right, so vitamin C, some kind of sweeter fruit. I like fruit. Who doesn't like fruit? Okay. So I've got some mangoes here. I'm actually not going to throw them in the bag now. I need to get smaller Ziploc bags before I completely pack all the food spaced on it when I went to the store. But 4 pieces of this is going to be 140 calories in total. So, your good vitamin C, again, good sugars into your body, good energy, and they just taste good. Food's good. The other one that I have is dragon fruit. So this is organic dragon fruit, soft and chewy. I have never had these, but I love dragon fruit anyway, so I think that this is going to be good. And an ounce is a serving for this, and it's 100 calories as well. So between the 2 fruits, it's 240 calories into the bag, still keeping this relatively light. Okay. So what is the total? So let's start with the high end, that 1,100 calorie mark with the biscuits and gravy there. So the total with the biscuits and gravy and all this food here, oh, I apologize, I missed one. Sorry. And last but not least, I knew I was going to forget this, and I try to remind myself not to forget this. Mountain Ops hydration packets. I used to use Liquid IV, but the Liquid IVs, for whatever reason, I've tried sugar-free. I've tried just about every single regular flavor, and it gives me heartburn. It just absolutely gives me heartburn. And so I'm starting to shy away from them. And I got the Gnomes Nectar hydrate packet in protein tub that I got from Mountain Ops as a sampler. And the Gnomes Nectar is pretty dang good. Didn't give me heartburn. I was drinking it during my workout at the gym, and these were great. So I'm going to be putting 2 in here. So each one of these is 10 calories. So there's an additional 20 calories in there. I like drinking one at the end of the night and then one in the morning before noon, just to kind of keep the electrolytes, especially if you get up in the morning, you start really moving around a lot, just to kind of keep the electrolytes replenished through the day. And then at night, I've really liked them. It helps with cramping a lot, helps with that hydration. So that way in the morning, I'm not feeling like my mouth's dry, body's kind of stiff and achy a little bit from the dehydration. I mean, backpack hunts, it is what it is. You're not getting the water supply you typically need unless you're sitting right next to a water source and not moving a whole lot. So having those good hydration packets, make sure you have your sodium content, magnesium, potassium, everything that your muscles and body needs to retain water and to stay hydrated is great to have. So now with those added, we'll go back over the calories here. So with the high end, the most calorie dense dinner, that biscuits and gravy, we're looking at 1,100 calories. So with everything in this bag, including the dehydrated dinner, we're looking at a total of 3,320 calories for the day. So that's pretty dang good. I try to keep my food right around the 1.5 pound, 2 pound mark, and we're pretty well right there with this. Very calorie dense items, good items I enjoy eating. Now, on the low end, so that chicken and home style rice dinner, that's sitting at 740 calories. That's still sitting pretty good at 2,960 calories. So we're still really close to that 3,000 calorie mark that I like to keep on my backpacking trips. So that's pretty good. Pretty dang good. So this is what I take, guys. And this is what I've evolved to. So why I evolved to this. So the first time I went out, I didn't take near enough food. It was super light. Like I mentioned before, I had Heather's Choice. Just wasn't enough food. It wasn't necessarily, actually, I shouldn't say enough food. It just wasn't the right food. I took things that weren't really calorie dense, like your Nature Valley bars and some other odds and ends like that. And again, nothing against Heather Choice dinners. Their flavor's good. Food is really good. They cook super well. So great product. Absolutely great product. Their dinners were like 500 and so calories. It wasn't enough for me, especially at the end of the day. And I also took breakfasts. And even when I first started taking peaks, I would have breakfast in the morning and then go hike my butt off and just feel groggy and stuff. So, which is my fault in sports and stuff. I'm not a big breakfast guy to begin with. So I should have known better than having a giant meal in the morning before going out and hiking around. That didn't work out too well for me. So then the next few times I went, I just had way too much food. I was taking like 4,000 calories and getting to the end of the day where it was like, I was either force feeding myself or I literally had enough for the next day. And that was including when I was taking the breakfasts. So I've morphed now I'm more of a snacker in the morning. So in the morning, I'll have some cheese there with a True Bar and get going. And then sometime in the midday, I'll have the sweet potato sticks here, and then maybe a trail mix, some fruit, so kind of spread those calories out to kind of snack throughout the day. And at the end of the day, I like that really big meal to kind of recover, if that makes sense. I go to sleep feeling full. I wake up recovered, got that protein intake, got the hydration in me. Like, I feel good in the morning doing that. Tons better. So there's a couple other things I was taking. that just gave me heartburn. So that's one thing. If you have acid reflux or anything like that, be mindful of things that kind of flare that up, because unless you're bringing Tums or something like that, but out in the mountain and your stomach gets screwed up, it's miserable. It just makes life unfun. So, okay. All right. Yep. I don't want to rant at you guys for too long. So this is what I take. Works for me. If you want to give some of these a try and it works for you, then awesome. Or keep doing what you're doing, whatever you like. The caveats that I'll throw out here, though, is when you go out, eat food that you enjoy. Don't go get like the RX bars. If you like to eat RX bars, great. Get RX bars. They are expensive, but eat them. Cliff bars. I'm not a huge fan of Cliff bars. Eat things that you like. Eat things that you're actually going to enjoy on the mountain. That makes it that much easier to stay longer, right? If you're not enjoying the food, I'll tell you what. You're just going to be thinking about that big old thick greasy pizza or that big old greasy cheeseburger, which is all good stuff, right? But that's all you're going to be thinking about on the mountain. So get food that's good for you, that you enjoy. Also, just kind of like life stuff. One of the big things I see a lot within the hunting community when it comes to food is and it's gotten tons better. There's been more advocates out there talking about eating healthy and working out and stuff, right? But don't just focus on eating healthy when you're on the mountain. Take care of you guys. Take care of yourselves, right? Be healthy. The healthier you are, the longer you live, the happier your life is, right? And I'm not going to sit here and preach and say, like, I don't go eat a giant Philly steak or cheeseburger, every now and again, right? I'm a foodie. I enjoy food. I say all the time, if I ate cleaner or didn't enjoy food as much, I'd be ripped. But, hey, that's just me. I enjoy eating my nachos and stuff. So, but with that said, take care of yourselves, right? Don't just think about your health on the mountains. Okay. I'll quit. I'll get off my high horse here. So hopefully this has been helpful, guys. Thanks for tuning in here. More great stuff to show. And as always, be smart, be safe, be wise, and happy hunting.